a major move in baseball.
Yeah, how about this? The defending champs just accepted the final rose from Trevor Bauer. That is our breaking news. The Dodgers will make the reigning National League Cy Young winner the highest paid player in the game.
The big news on this Friday, Trevor Bauer is headed to the Dodgers.
You look at the rotation there, and he's going to get to work with Walker Buehler, Clayton Kershaw, Julio Urias, David Price, Dustin May, Tony Gonsolin. I mean, it's an embarrassment of riches.
Because he didn't want to pitch here. He didn't have the guts to pitch in New York City. He didn't want to deal with you. Yeah. He didn't want to deal with me. Wow. He didn't want to deal with any of us.
It's going to be interesting. I know one thing is that we'll definitely get to hear all the takes that Trevor will have himself about why he made this decision, and I can't wait.
And I can't wait, Dodger fans.
Wait a second. How did we get here? It seemed like the Mets were inches away from signing Trevor Bauer and slotting him into their rotation as their number 2 behind Jacob deGrom. And then, he became a Dodger. All offseason, the Mets were deemed the favorites to land any top free agent they coveted. Between the losses in revenue from around the league and now saddled with the richest owner in baseball, the Mets were expected to have the ability to outspend for any player they wanted. And heading into last weekend, that appeared to be true in the case of Trevor Bauer. According to a source of Joel Sherman's, a deal came so close that there was a time in the final 24 hours of the negotiation in which the Mets believed they had reached agreement with Trevor Bauer. They felt terms had been approved by both sides and that they were working with one of his agents, John Fedorov, toward finalizing details. In fact, a source said that Mets president Sandy Alderson, who's been involved with 3 organizations over the past 4 decades, felt he had never proceeded to this extent of negotiations and not finalized a deal. So, what led the Mets front office and every Mets fan to believe Trevor Bauer was heading to Queens, only for their hopes to be dashed at the last second? All offseason, the Mets were rumored to be interested in the big fish free agents, from JT Realmuto to George Springer and DJ LeMahieu. The Mets passed on JT Realmuto for James McCann. Watched as George Springer received a huge payday from Toronto, and despite their slow play, the Yankees retained LeMahieu over many other suitors. But through February 4th, potentially the best free agent in 2021 was still available: Trevor Bauer. Now, you would struggle to find a unanimous answer to who the best free agent of the 2021 class was. But Bauer, coming off his 2020 Cy Young season, was as reasonable an answer as anyone else. Over 11 starts in 2020, Bauer had a 1.73 ERA, 2 complete game shutouts, and a K rate over 12 in 73 innings. Bauer's underlying metrics from 2020 as well as 2018 suggested that he had some of the best pure stuff in baseball, often sitting in the top 90th percentile. But Bauer wasn't without his warts. Prior to his 2020 Cy Young season, he had a career 4.04 ERA over 7 seasons with Arizona, Cleveland, and Cincinnati. That without even touching on his often questionable social media activity and public persona. And despite all of that, Bauer was still heavily sought after by the 2 teams who at this moment appear to have the deepest pockets in baseball: the New York Mets and the Los Angeles Dodgers. 2 teams who already figured to have strong starting rotations. This offseason, the Mets acquired Carlos Carrasco, re-signed Marcus Stroman with a qualifying offer, and with the impending return of Noah Syndergaard from Tommy John surgery, figured to have a rotation 5 deep of talented MLB starting pitchers. The Dodgers, meanwhile, anchored by young star Walker Buehler, all-time great and still chugging Clayton Kershaw, young promising arms Dylan May, Julio Urias, and Tony Gonsolin, in addition to left-handed veteran David Price, who opted out of 2020 for COVID-related reasons. But from the jump, Trevor Bauer appeared to be the Mets to lose. In a radio interview on November 10th, Mets president of baseball operations, Sandy Alderson, said that he believed Bauer would be a great personality in New York. the kind of guy that fans would endorse, saying that in baseball, we're in the entertainment business. Just a few days later, Bauer responded to Alderson's comments with a tongue-in-cheek comment himself. Baseball isn't entertainment. It's boring, and personality isn't allowed. And this Bauer guy is going to be terrible in the New York media. Big head case. Couldn't handle it. Despite what appeared to be mutual interest, the Mets continued on with their offseason. January 21st, Ken Rosenthal reports the Mets' interest in Bauer, quote, has become more focused since the Blue Jays agreed to sign former Mets free agent target George Springer. The Blue Jays are believed to still be in the running, and the same goes for the Dodgers and Twins. There's no word on whether the Angels remain a possibility. Mark Feinsand also reported on the same day, it's believed that the Mets and Angels have the best chance to land Bauer. Despite the interest the Dodgers have shown in Bauer, it still feels like a long shot to most industry sources that he will end up with them. January 29th, the Mets trade starting pitcher Steven Matz to the Toronto Blue Jays. The trade appears to suit two purposes. It frees up $5.1 million on the Mets payroll and open a spot in their rotation. Almost immediately after the trade, one of Bauer's biggest suitors, the Los Angeles Angels, were deemed to have ended their pursuit of the 29-year-old right-handed pitcher. All signs were pointing to the Mets being Bauer's destination, but in between them still was one last hurdle, the Los Angeles Dodgers. Coming off their World Series title in 2020, were quietly pursuing Bauer all offseason, but with little to no public report on significant negotiations between the two sides. But while the Mets are playing with new money, the Dodgers have done this for many years. A franchise always willing to pay top dollar for a player they covet. Thursday, February 4th. Bauer to the Mets talks are intensifying. Ed Coleman, a Mets beat for WFAN in New York, joins the Carton and Roberts show.
I think the Mets are very close to this, and the one thing I think that separates them, the Mets are willing to offer a one-year opt-out after 1 year. And apparently the Dodgers, if they're the other team, are not willing to do that.
Is there any thought from the folks you talked to that when we say the deal's close or imminent, tonight, tomorrow, or you think through the weekend?
No, I think it's close. I think it's going to be done probably in the next 24 hours, and probably less than that, I would think.
Got it.
Coleman says live on radio that the Mets are close to signing Bauer. Mets fans are getting giddy. In fact, a deal seems imminent. And then, the Bob bomb of all Bob bombs. Less than an hour later, Bob Nightingale tweets, Trevor Bauer and the Mets have a deal. Mets fans are rejoicing. The Mets may have the best rotation in Major League Baseball. Trevor Bauer is a Met. And then, he wasn't. Mere minutes later, multiple reporters come out and refute Nightingale's tweet. The Mets have not signed Trevor Bauer, and the saga continues. We would have to wait 18 more roller coaster-like hours to finally learn Bauer's new team. Friday, February 5th, we learned that Trevor Bauer will be making his formal announcement live on his YouTube channel at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Mets fans eagerly await what appears to be a slam dunk for their favorite team. 2 p.m. Eastern Time passes, and still no announcement from Bauer. Then, the Mets gear starts being released on Bauer's social media profiles. Bauer's Instagram profile and website, BauerOutage.com, begin releasing various items featuring the New York Mets, from LFGM merch to an entry for an autographed Mets hat, which received over 800 entries. Mets fans eagerly start signing up to support their new player, and begin receiving emails and texts from Bauer's profile, thanking them for their entry. The emails containing the sentence, I can't wait to take the mound in New York, and the text message with a parting LFGM. And then, to add to the drama, Bauer's website crashes. Mets fans are beside themselves. They're resting easily under the assumption that their team is about to have a super rotation that can go toe-to-toe with any team in the league. Maybe Nightingale jumped the gun on his tweet, but it's all but confirmed at this point. Until they didn't. At 2:44 p.m. Eastern Time, before Trevor Bauer could make the announcement himself on YouTube, Jon Heyman had the scoop, and in a simple 3-word sentence, crushed the heart and soul of Mets fans around the world. Bauer to Dodgers. It was official. Moments later, Bauer took to YouTube, a video entitled, My New Home, adorned in his new threads, the iconic Dodgers home uniforms. The only thing missing? A number on the jersey. The roller coaster ride that was Trevor Bauer's free agency was over. The SoCal native took less money to return to his home team, while the Mets were left to pick up the pieces. The fallout from these events have resulted in mixed feelings from Mets fans. Some believe the team was used to drive up the value of Bauer's contract with the Dodgers. Others were relieved that Bauer spurned the Mets under the belief that he was overpaid. In any case, both Bauer and his agent Rachel Luba took to Twitter to acknowledge Mets fans and apologize. This, however, only further fanned the flames.
He could kiss my ass.
That's what I'm talking about. He said he was sorry, Evan. He had no idea that his web people were trolling you like that.
Okay.
That's what he said.
He can pucker up, and he can kiss my rear end.
And then his agent came out and said he really means it.
Oh, great. That reinforces it.
He was really bothered by things that were happening that he was unaware of right up until he announced he was going with the Dodgers.
Yeah, so...
Bauer went on a 12-tweet rampage Sunday night, apologizing and explaining what happened. Bauer claimed he had multiple reveals prepared for different organizations and that the links for Mets merchandise were posted prematurely in error. To me, as a Mets fan, I don't hate Trevor Bauer. I was never truly sold on him to begin with. His up and down career had me concerned paying him that much money. But his incredible Cy Young performance in 2020 and his underlying metrics also made me think that he might have only scratched the surface in becoming one of the best pitchers in baseball. I don't know if I buy Trevor Bauer's explanation for the Mets memorabilia being released on his website, but at the same time, I also don't believe Trevor Bauer would ever apologize for anything he wasn't willing to own. In the end, it doesn't matter, because Bauer is a Los Angeles Dodger. He got his wish to become the highest paid player in baseball and had the entire sports world focused on him throughout the process. I have to say, if nothing else, Trevor Bauer is a marketing genius. It stings a little when I think back to the Bob Nightingale tweet and to know that the Mets were so close to having him on their team. But at the same time, his social media personality before he even joined the team was causing a huge distraction for the franchise. And for those reasons, I'm okay with the Mets not signing Trevor Bauer. So what do you guys think? Did Trevor Bauer troll the Mets on purpose? Was this a good signing for the Los Angeles Dodgers? And did Trevor Bauer just blaze a path for future free agents? Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little docuseries, and I hope to do another one in the future. If you enjoyed it, let me know in the comment section below. Leave me a like on this video, and subscribe to my channel for more MLB content.